thereabouts. Thank you. Okay, everyone who is excited. I'm very excited about this session in particular. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking our time to join us on this session. By way of introduction, my name is Chine Ajayi. I'm a lawyer, an energy advisor as well. So I work with Olaniwa Ajayi as I kind of direct their renewable energy practice there. And I'm also an admin personnel for Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute. Yes, and basically we've been running this series for some time now. Since from I think beginning of this year, and the objective of this series basically is just to create a lot of awareness about renewable energy, about what the sector is all about, business opportunities, and a number of things. And we've been talking about a lot of things from the beginning of the year, but this particular episode is very, very unique and very important, particularly because it deals with the issue of business. It deals with the issue of making money, which is something that is of interest to a lot of people. So you're all welcome. Just by way of ground rules, please, you could put on your video if that's fine with you, but most importantly, we need it to your mics to be muted, except it's time to speak or ask questions so that we don't have interruptions. So yes, just before we get started, just a bit of background again. There are a lot of people, Nigeria, the economy is really very hard, like a lot of people say, and we have high rate of employment. I think as at 2020, we have up to 33.3% of unemployment in Nigeria. A lot of people are out there looking for jobs. But the interesting thing is that Nigeria is a land full of opportunities, depending on how you want to look at it. And this sector is something that is a sector that is really very unique. Though a lot of people may not want to accept it, but this is the future of the world. I like to tell people that renewable energy is a new oil, right? Because the fossil fuel, the oil and gas, before you tell someone I'm in oil and gas and they look at you like some big person, I see that facing off in the coming years. So it's something that, so if you're in this sector now, I would like to congratulate you because you're already in for something very big, starting up, that's going to come up really very big in the future. So we have two very important guests for our meeting this afternoon. First off, we have Mr. Isaac Chidi Chukudulwe. Yes, he is the CEO of Royal Solar Shop, yes. And one very interesting thing about him is the fact that he is an alumni of Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute, which is like the convener of this series. Just by way of introduction again of what RETI is all about. So basically RETI is, for those of us who don't know, is a Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute based in Nigeria that is actually set up to provide tailored education within and across the value chain of renewable energy and energy efficiency. And the goal is to raise entrepreneurs who create solutions to energy problems across Nigeria. So Mr. Chukudule is one of us. He's been in the institute before. He started out his own business. So really there's no better person to deal with the topic than himself. So Mr. Chikudulu, it's our pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for taking our time to join us on the call.
You are welcome.
All right, thank you. Yes, so our second guest is nobody else but our very own Miss Gloria Webu. So she's the founder of renewable energy technology training. Let me call it RETI for short. And we don't bite my lips, all right? So she's an amazing lady. She practically inspired me into also coming into the sector, and she's done a lot in this space with respect to opening the eyes of people around the opportunities in this sector. So I mean, there's no better person to also deal with the topic than herself. So both of them will be talking to us this afternoon, and you do well to write, take your notepads and pen. I have mine by my side, so you can take as much notes as possible. But our goal is that you leave here with valuable information that you will use to impact, change your life going forward. So thank you so much once again, Glory. It's our pleasure having you as well.
Thank you, Chine. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us.
Okay, so we just get right into it. Okay, so and I'll start off with Glory, and the reason why I'm starting off, so that just give us, venture we have some people on the call who are like newbies, like what is renewable energy, what is this all about? So just in very few minutes, just let us know what is renewable energy about in the general, before we now delve into the business aspect of it. Renewable energy, then coming down to solar first. Thank you very much, Glory.
Of course, you're welcome. Thank you all for joining us. And I want to especially welcome the president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, Dr. Sheikh Wadaju. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Dr. Sheikh is always supporting young people like ourselves here. And he's always giving his little bit to ensure that this renewable energy revolution reaches everywhere. So like a little introduction, many of you have recently heard about solar energy, and some of you have heard different things about it. So solar energy is just one type of renewable energy. I'm sure you know that, but as a way of introduction, the clean energy revolution started because of something we call environmental sustainability. Yes, you're welcome, sir. So because of climate change, anyone who knows me knows I'm always talking about climate change, and I'll always start my introduction with what is going on in our environment. So because if you understand this background, you would understand why there is the noise about this solar revolution. Climate change is happening in our world, and companies, governments have been mandated to reduce the CO2 emission that their carbon footprint from their organizations. So you have people who make appliances have been mandated to make the energy saving one. So this revolution is really happening everywhere. And so it has given a rise to the need for more people to be equipped with the knowledge of this subject matter, so that they can become entrepreneurs, they can serve others in their communities. The reason I said that is because if you're here because you're interested in the solar sector, you do have an opportunity around you where you live, your streets, your church, your mosque, anywhere that there's an electricity issue. And during the time that I'll do my short talk, I'll tell you specific things you can do and how you can do them to help to promote access to electricity. Yeah, so that's my introduction. I forgot one other thing I wanted to say, but I'll remember it later. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much for that bit. So we understand what renewable energy is. Basically, it's an alternative source of power. Is an alternative source of power than the typical generators and fuels. Mm-hmm. So and so we're trying to look at the opportunities, and we have Mr. Chikudulu with us. And what we just want to know really, how did you start your business? Look, I mean, okay, by way of just going through the. Sorry, just a second. Let me get that out. Okay, so Mr. Chukudulu, what ignited your interest in renewable energy in the first place, right? And so what brought about the desire to learn about it, or even to start off the business in the first place?
Yeah, thank you, Shinele, for that question. Actually, going into solar business is something I stumbled into it. I stumbled into solar business. It may sound somehow, but that is actually what happened. I studied science in school, so I got to know more about physics, chemistry, but there's something that happened. When I started hearing about energy crisis, everybody complain about NEPA, and every time they take light, I started asking myself a question: who am I? Am I not a solution provider again? Is there no way I can help to solve this problem instead of complaining like others? So when I started marketing different products in from Trade Fair International or Joe to Alaba International, I was marketing almost all products, all from laundry, kitchen, and the rest, including solar. I was using a digital means to market all this. But there's something that happened in 2015 around March. I got a call from Akwa Ibom, a client asking of solar. The person came, did one business. I made only 1,000 in that business. I said, what? I made 1,000. Wow. I said, this is part of my study in school. Why can't I put more interest into this line? I intensified my efforts. Before I knew it, there was another deal that came again. This one from Calabar. After doing that business, I got almost 100 and something thousand naira profit. I said, wow, time has come. Let me go into this business fully. I stopped marketing other brands and focused all my attention on solar. From that marketing, business started coming in. I started making money. I started thinking of how to expand my business and also help to solve the energy crisis. That is exactly how I got myself into solar business. I did not go anywhere to learn it. It was just by sudden that I got into this business. And so far, so good. It has paid me and is still paying me, and I'm happy about it.
Wow, interesting. You know, one unique thing that's about what you said is the fact that it was desire to solve a problem. I think there's nothing that drives a person than the passion to solve a problem and to make an impact. So that was like the spirit, what I call the passion, what drove Mr. Chukwudogwe. And I just want to actually put it out there, just in case you have a desire to solve a problem in your area. This is one area to actually make very huge impact that will be felt by a lot of people. Okay, so so that is an aspect of business. So I just want to also speak to Glory. Okay, maybe I should take this first, Mr. Chukwudogwe first, then I'll come back to Glory. But Mr. Chukwudogwe, what's inspired? I don't know what aspect of, and because I know we have the number of value chains in the solar business. So what aspect are you into? Like, what aspect of the value chain are you focused on, and why did you choose that area?
Yeah, in my own line of business, like I said before, I started marketing of the product, solar.
Okay.
But as time goes on, yes, from marketing it, just the way I was marketing other brands, other products in the other sectors, I said, okay, there's need to just open office and start selling. And not just selling high quality products, okay, to people. When I got into solar, there was a lot of also complaining about solar system not working well. I said, no. When people ask you, where are you? Where is the office located? He said Alaba, they will be like afraid. I said, that Alaba is not known for high quality products. I said, no. This Alaba people said, you are not going to get something good. I'll go there and make sure quality products are being sold by my company so that people will all believe that solar works, because I personally use it. I use solar at home. I did it for my dad. I did it for my brother, and it's working. I said I will be in Alaba and I'll market, not just marketing, I will sell it. I will help in the distribution. And at the same time, I'll also install. So right now, we are into full solar business. We market any good product. The Chinese, the Indians, the Europeans, they bring into the country. We market it for them. They don't pay us. We advertise it for them through the different means, digital means and the rest. Then we also sell the products. I'm not just selling, we also have to distribute it to any part of the country and even beyond, even outside the country, we do that. Then, if you want us to install, we install professionally for you to enjoy. So these are the area we have covered
You
so
focus.
far: marketing, selling, distribution, and installation of solar system for homes and the other for offices and the organizations.
All right, thank you very much. That's great. Okay, so it's interesting. So basically, Mr. Chukwudoli, you're focused on sales of components and as well as installations, right? Okay, that's great to know. And Glory, we'd like to hear from you. What are the other opportunities? Like, what are the other areas that people can actually delve into? Of course, we've seen the area that Mr. Chukwudoli is focused on, but I believe there are other areas that people can actually take into consideration. So please, it would be nice to throw more light on that. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. And I want to ask a question very quickly. Please type on the chat box. Why did you come for this webinar? Can you tell me, to all the people listening, can you tell me why did you join this webinar? Just one word in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and answer. Because I'd like for you to take something away. That's why we invited a special speaker. Really, I'm just one of the hosts. Our special speaker here is Mr. Isaac, and I'm very proud of him because he is a RETI alumni. So from time to time, we're going to be featuring some of the RETI alumni who have gotten trained in the solar sector and have started something. So someone said they are interested in solar business, to understand solar business better. Who else? Some people are already in I can see some of our RETI alumni here. Good for you to join. Why else did you join? If anyone can quickly answer. So some people have discovered that there is the problem of electricity in their streets. I know that's what many people will say. So not just that, you find that people are complaining. Someone said to hear Isaac's story. Very good. Someone said to explore the various opportunities in the renewable energy sector. Yes. So you'd find that Nigerians are complaining not just because they're complaining, because we don't have lights. There is NEPA bills delivered to your house every month, and you have not seen the lights, right? And people are open to alternatives right now, even though some people are saying, oh, solar does not work, but yet they are open to have that alternative. So Mr. Harry has talked about distributorship. Now, there is a mandate out there in the world for companies to make products that are more sustainable. As an entrepreneur, you should be thinking, how can I fix myself into the available opportunities? Now, one thing I advise people that we mentor is you must not invent a new product. Think about an old thing that is already working and think about how you can, work along with that, how you can make the idea better. That's what innovation means. Something that is already out there, how can you make it better? Mr. Isaac is distributing solar products. Can you deliver the solar products for him? Can you buy specific products from him and then supply to people with specific power needs? One thing I talk about all the time is that solar can work for specific power needs. Now you can find a customer that doesn't have light. They must not do solar for their whole house. It could be a business, but they could do it to power specific appliances that powers their business. So I always ask these people, for an entrepreneur who is dealing into drinks, what do you think is the most important item in that business? Please type on the chat box. What do you think is the most important item for a customer who deals in drinks and sells drinks? Who can tell me? So when you figure out important appliances for businesses, you can fix yourself inside that particular niche. Yes, we know that power is, but what appliance in the business place do you think needs to have power, even if it's not all the appliances? Good. Refrigerator. Someone says, I'm a laundry man, but let me see. But I need power to, okay, I'll get back to that. Refrigerator, perfect. So you can decide to just supply that type of refrigerator for specific those types of customers. That's a business idea that I just gave somebody now. Right. So when people come to this particular business place to relax after work, what they are looking to do is to get a chilled drink, isn't it? Now, this customer might decide to invest in a solar-powered freezer that can keep their drinks cold. That's an example of how you can market your services to a customer. Yeah. So I think the question she asked was what other things can you do in the solar sector? Right. People who are lawyers, people who are like my colleague here, Chineye Ajayi, who is also a lawyer, or she's an energy lawyer and she talks about energy regulation, energy compact, and things like that. She has built a career. I always use her as an example because she has built a career as a lawyer, but in the energy sector. There are people that are in finance. You can make research and think about financial opportunities for renewable energy companies, raise funds for solar power companies, and get your own commission from that. You can, people in the agricultural sector can think about climate resilient crops and how to power services with solar power. People who are engineers can invent solar products that can work for specific types of businesses. The reason I'm saying this is I want you all to go back after this webinar to start thinking, how can I be innovative around this sector? Now, many people say, oh, I want to sell solar panels, just like Mr. Harry. There are so many other things you can do. And as we go along in the webinar, I will share more with you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, it's interesting to, and the good thing about the sector is the fact that you can play in, I mean, the fact that I don't have money is not an excuse. That's just we start off with it, right? So we say, okay, now so maybe to start off like Mr. Chikudole's might require a lot of capital, you know, you have to buying and selling, right? But like Glory rightly said, okay, fine. You find someone like Mr. Chikudole that sells all forms of product, right? And then you have someone by your house who needs solar power to power his fridge or freezer. All you just need to do is to speak to the person, go collect it from people like Mr. Chudole's office or his shop, you know, and arrange to install for that particular need. So you can see that with little or no money, I mean, you can start something. So that's just one thing about this. So across the value chain, there are a number of things you can do. That if you don't decide not to go into technical part, like she said, you can actually go on the other advisory services area. So yes, thank you very much for that, Glory. So we'll talk about more opportunities as we go along. But then coming back to you, Mr. Chukudule, I would like to let us, so what were the challenges you faced? Because trust me, I know for every business you go to that there are challenges. But then I would like to know what are the challenges you faced when you started off the business and how did you deal with it? Hello, Mr. Chukudule, can you hear me? Okay, I think
like he's hanging.
Yeah.
Looks like we lost him.
Okay, I think he's off. Okay, so I guess he'll come back later on. So, but Gloria, we'll keep that question pending for him. But so basically, let me just come back to you. One of the questions that a lot of people ask, or rather, the challenge from my own personal survey, because trust me, I'm also thinking about solar business. You know, we discussed that already, right? So, but the challenge is, it's too expensive, right? I can't afford it. You know, does it really work? I heard someone say, I've heard of those things. It doesn't really work. And also, what do you think is the real issue? Because these are one of the discouraging factors for people who are actually looking to delve into the sector. Yeah. So what do you think are the issues and how do we respond to those issues if you're about getting into the business? Thank you.
Business. Thank you. First of all, I forgot to mention something. For everyone listening here, it's very important to find a problem. I always say that. So as you want to enter into the renewable energy business, find a problem. What does that mean? Yes, we know that the problem of lack of electricity is in Nigeria. So we know that, oh, there's no lights. Find a customer's pain point. So in that lack of electricity, what's the thing that is paining them the most? Just like I said, that woman who sells drinks. So by the time, I know I gave Chineye assignment one time to talk to people around, right? And find out what exactly do they want. Yeah, the reason I thought of it now is because it's very, very important, because you might think that their problem is that they don't have light. Maybe they just want to power the irons for their washing machine, for the laundry business. Maybe they just want to do something little. Maybe they want to do something that is different from what you had in mind. The point is you have to talk and converse with the people that you're working with. There's a Reta alumni here that I might call up later to share, because he has a very unique story about being in the business and the things that he has seen. So one of the challenges, like Chineye said, is that it's expensive. People believe that solar does not work. Fortunately, that is beginning to change. The reason they think it doesn't work is because the solar that they install to power their homes is usually not enough. The capacity is not enough to work with all the appliances that they would like to power. Yeah. So the amount of solar they can afford to put is really little. So maybe it's just, and I'll allow Engineer Isaac to talk more on that. Maybe it's just for their TV or for their fans. And then later on, they go and plug an iron there. Or then the man decides, oh, I like to buy a bigger refrigerator. I like to buy a bigger fan, and you plug it there. Before you know it, it fails because the capacity is too much that has been designed. Now, as many of you want to become entrepreneurs, you're going to meet this on the road along the way, customers who are telling you that solar does not work. You have to understand why it doesn't work. And so some of you have formal training already. Like, you know, Reti offers trainings like this. We teach exactly these things, and so that you can know how to deal with your customers. So those are the main things that I've seen that are the challenges, people saying it doesn't work. And I've even seen government programs where the people are still complaining because of capacity. That's usually what the issue is. So how can we surmount this particular challenge is that people, your customers, you must always tell them to power their appliances that has to be on. So customers think that solar is like NEPA. Solar is not really like NEPA. It's not the same, yeah? So customers has to start with appliances that have to be on unfailingly. Right, so because when you have all of those appliances at the same time, that can reduce the efficiency. So that's one way. People must advise their clients. People must advise their clients as entrepreneurs. You must tell them what to do, what will work, okay? So that's the two things, the two challenges that I've seen in the industry. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just like in fact, there's one illustration that keeps coming to me. When someone tells me solar does not work, I tell you the person, okay, your typical generator you have in your house, right? You know what it can carry. Would you necessarily, because you know you have a generator, switch on all the appliances in your house, switch on your, it's of course not, because you know your generator capacity cannot take it. So in the same way it works with solar, you need to understand, you need to understand how the system works, know what your capacity is, and then use it, right? So that it doesn't it doesn't actually, become damaged and then you begin to complain. And the one thing that is also very important is the issue of, for us who are looking to step into this business, enlightenment is important. This is where Reti actually comes in. You need to be trained. You need to understand how this works. It's not just enough to buy a panel and then climb on the roof and then install it, right? Or do any other kind of business. There's a place for skilled understanding. So on that base, basically, we'd like to invite you to Reti. I think admin, please help us put the link on the website. You can actually get down with a number of trainings you can get at your convenience, really. So you can actually learn about these things and you are ready to be able to answer questions. And then you stand out among the peers, of course, which is one of the things that Mr. Chukudolwe did. So yes, Mr. Chukudolwe, we asked a question, but then I guess your network went off for a bit. So what we're talking about were challenges. So for you personally, right, what were the challenges you faced, venturing into this particular sector, particularly the niche you actually choose, distribution and installation? What are the challenges you faced or you're still facing, and how are you able to deal with them? Okay, we can't hear you. It seems you're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Sorry about the network challenges. That's one of the challenges we face in Nigeria. There are challenges everywhere. In business, in my own business, the challenge is much. I can't lie to you. From the beginning, from the time I came into this business, I have been facing challenges. Even till now, I'm still facing challenges, and it's not going to end. Okay? There are so many challenges. Okay, I don't want to go much into the challenge we face in marketing, but in sales, in this business, there are lots of substandard products. There are lots of manipulations. Sometimes you may not be around, you may call a colleague to supply a product on your behalf. You, at the end of the day, you will discover that what you order for is not exactly what you paid for. There might have been small manipulation. Maybe somebody needs 10 kVA inverter, They may change 7.5 to 10 kVA just to maximize their profit. And at the end of the day, when that type of machine gets to the site, they may fail because you bought the client or I that ordered it already have in mind of 10 kVA being used. And now the load there will be the load for 10 kVA. But when you discover that the load the machine there is 7.5 kVA that has been changed to 10 kVA, it will affect the output of the whole installation. There are lots of challenges, both in logistics. As I speak to you now, a wedding that was done 2 days ago, the client left a lorry to Ado-Ekiti to pick it up, to do the work yesterday. Till now, he has not gotten it. Only we have contacted the logistic company. What they said that the vehicle broke down and they are trying to transload. So imagine the client is not happy over there because he's paying for more days to get this job done. There are a lot of challenges. Is it those doing the work? We have many quack installers. They will just attend a 2-day training. They will come out, maybe follow a professional engineer to the site. Next thing, they will snap pictures and post it online that they are engineers. So when we as professionals now make a quote and present it to a client, they will say your cost is high. The other guy that doesn't know much will just write anyhow something and present. They will give him the job. Just to maximize profit, he will not use the right product to do the job, and the job will fail. The challenges are much. I could remember when I was starting this business, like I said, I didn't start this business with money. I started this business with Technophone M3. I called it money making machine. About 12,000 naira. That's what I bought it. All I needed is just to snap pictures and be posting on OLX, on GG, different digital platforms. One of the major challenges I faced that time was the client that came to do that business, because I never had a shop. I took him to somebody that had a shop. At the end of the day, this is a deal that I'm supposed to, after that, they are supposed to be a rich man immediately, because it was a project that is designed to be done for almost 21 commissioners in the South. So they just bought 2 machines, 30 kVA, and each of the 30 kVA is supposed to go with 30 batteries. I'm just assuming that system worked very well, I would have done the whole thing. But just after a month, there was small challenge that came up with the installation. I wasn't the one that did the installation. The guy I brought the business to provided people and the owner of the business, the guy that came from Calabar for the job. They did it themselves, and the system started having issues. Because I never had money, I never had enough finance to project the whole thing. The job I supposed to go and handle myself, I left it with the guy. He hijacked the business and controlled the whole business and made so much money from the business. So I lost a lot of, I lost the money I was supposed to make, but I still endured it because I believe the one in the future is better, that I will still make it. And today, I still see him, we greet, we do everything. Now I'm my own boss. Now people bring business to me the way I did it for that guy. But in my own case, I make sure that everything is done in fairness. What belongs to you, I will give you. And I don't care whether the person is coming to buy more to start disturbing the person. No, I don't do that. If you bring a client, add anything you want to add, I'll handle the business, you take your commission. That is how I do. So there are a lot of challenges in this business. And remember, this business is business that is filled with enough technicalities. That is why you don't see many people coming into it. Okay? So a lot of things happen. Last week, I was in Oka at Mboku to do an installation. I got there with a soccer power inverter, 3.5 kVA for 8 volts. After doing installation, we got there on Saturday, started the job that Saturday. My engineer is supposed to go back on Sunday, which is Easter Sunday. By the time, why would people like can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please, Pope Ezekiel, could you mute your mic? Thank you. Yes, you can. Please go on.
Okay, by the time the engineer tried as much as possible to finish the job by Sunday afternoon and go back to Lagos. See what happened. The inverter was working, but the inverter was not supplying full voltage. Could you believe that? This is an inverter that's supposed to. This is an inverter that's supposed to supply 220. Was supplying 120. Now,
I can imagine.
Imagine now. I myself, I had to send because it's a holiday, I had to wait till Monday to send another inverter from Lagos down to Oka. And the engineer couldn't go again and stayed till Tuesday. The inverter came on Tuesday. He went down to Onisha, pick it up and restored. So there are a lot of challenges in this business, honestly speaking.
Yeah, so I would like to know, I thank you for highlighting the challenge, and it's actually very important for everyone on the call to know and understand these things, so that, because really there's, for every good thing, you know, there are challenges alongside it. But I would like to know, how do you really deal with these things? What are your mechanisms for dealing with these challenges, for at least, for as much as for the ones you've listed, in just very few points, please?
So thank you very much. The way I'm handling it is that I have that spirit, and that entrepreneurial spirit. I have said that I will not give up. This business, I'm doing it with passion. I'm ready for it. I die here. Whatever comes up, whatever problem that comes up, I will solve it. If I supply you inverter and it fails, I will give you another one. If you can't wait for it to be, the bottom line is that I'm ready to sacrifice, to lose money, to please my customers. So that is how it's working for me. Okay, I believe in business. Business is all about profit and loss. Sometimes you make gains, sometimes you lose. So whenever any challenge comes up, I always sit down, think outside the box to solve it. If it's the one that will involve losing money, I will lose the money to have peace of mind. If it's the one that we like, if it's product, I ensure that, for the fact that I've stayed in this business for long, I only buy product for well-trusted and well-trusted importers or companies, so that whenever issues come up, they will easily attend to that problem quickly. You understand? They will quickly attend to that problem. That is one thing I'm doing now. All products I'm buying, I use the right people. Whenever I'm supplying something, I make sure I use the right people to deliver those products to avoid stories.
All right, thank you very much. So just to highlight very in summary, some of the key points that Mr. Chukwudule mentioned. So first and foremost, that you need a bold mind, like you need like a lion heart to do a business, virtually any business at all, but particularly this one. Secondly, one of the things that's very important is skill and technical knowledge. We can't throw that away. Even if you can't, if you don't have the skill, they need to get people who are actually skilled to work with you. You know, if you don't want to run down your business or destroy your reputation, they need to actually pay attention to quality, right? Initially, substandard product might get a lot of attention, but it doesn't last for long. So one of the things I've kept him, like what he has said, is the fact is desire for quality. I see someone asking, how do you identify? There are ways to identify, but it requires a number of skills. So there's a place for training, and there's a place for working with skilled persons. Like he rightly said, he has identified quality suppliers or importers. So those are the things that we need to take note of. Thank you very much, Mr. Chukwudule, for those points. I believe everyone who's looking to go in is aware. So just coming back to Glory. So I just wanted to know, just to throw a few more light on following from what Mr. Chukwudule had just said. So what do you think are the challenges, from what he said? Now, what do you think people can actually do to surmount some of these challenges he just highlighted? Hello, Glory.
Of course, I can hear. Thank you. I was trying to just round up some of the key points I was typing for the people on the call. So, like, I like one thing that he said. He said something very important about where you buy your products. Where you buy your products. I see that people have been asking, how can you buy products that are long-lasting? See, there's a lot of people that sell solar panels. They sell it as traders, right? So they have no knowledge about the technology or how it works, but they just see an opportunity and they're selling the product. So when you start your business, whilst you're considering starting your business, make sure that you buy from people who are verified, people who have an internet presence and who have a customer service dimension to their business, right? Now, you're going to face the temptation of buying the cheap ones. Now, what you're going to realize is that installation will fail for the customer and they're going to give you a bad name, right? When you buy the cheap ones and install. But one thing is sure, when customers see that the cheap ones fail faster, they actually begin to realize that, okay, maybe this is how this thing works. Maybe this is how much I have to pay. So that's one thing. And then he talked about determination, right? About how he was pushing and about how he really decided to put his heart and soul into this business. If you're looking for a business that you can do to make quick money, I'll tell you, this one is not the one, right? Because to succeed in any type of business, you have to do some work on your path. Then you have to wait for some time to see if your idea is working and to see how the people are responding to it. Right. So I don't know how many years Mr. Isaac has been in the business, but he paid that due. Everyone is going to pay that price, right? So one quick way to surmount those challenges is being determined, joining. I wrote some in the chat. Have you guys seen what I sent in chat? So join organizations that cater to entrepreneurs like yourself. We do have such an organization, which is free, Green Connect, Renewable Energy Engineers and Entrepreneurs Connect by Reti, and it's free. The reason we created that group is that so people like you can come on that group and learn from one another. If any of you have already clicked on that link, please click on it and see the kind of conversation that go on. You can do that now as I'm talking. See the kind of conversation that goes on there and see how entrepreneurs like yourself, some of them have not even been to Reti school, but they're asking questions and getting answers. The truth is that you may learn something from this webinar, or you may learn something from the training when you come. But when you start the business on the outside, the terrain is different. Of course, what you have learned in your training would help you. But many of our entrepreneurs, who some of them are on this call, have seen that the outside is actually different. So when you get in groups like I just talked about, you then meet entrepreneurs who are outside or doing the business, and you can learn from them. There's no education like that. That's why you see a lot of people who have not gone to university, but they are thriving in business. Do you know why? Because life has taught them. They are in the market and they are learning things that some people have not seen in the class. So that's one advice for how to surmount the challenges that you're going to meet as an entrepreneur. All entrepreneurs will face some of the challenges that Mr. Isaac have just talked about. So when you join those kind of groups, you can liaise with one another, and you can have, and you can, what's that called? Please, an initial training is very important. I've even shared the link with you where we have free courses. I don't want you guys to think this is a marketing webinar. No, it's not. We don't do that already. We'll do our webinars and then you decide what to do. But I've posted a link where I have a free introductory renewable energy course. Go through it, please, so that you can familiarize yourself with the environment of the business before you go into it. We also have very low price courses that are online so that you can understand the terrain and see what people really want, what opportunities are there for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs that are on this platform who have already started solar business can even tell you. Mr. Isaac, who is also a member of Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, can tell you about some of the opportunities that come from time to time. And I think, I don't know if Mr. Sheikh is still on the line. Maybe I'll call him up if he permits to just talk a little bit on why it's important to just join groups like Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. So that when opportunities, let me tell you why it's important, when opportunities come into the country for clean energy, those groups are the first places they look at. When opportunities come for training, opportunities for a new distributor looking for market, looking for distributors, companies in China looking for distributors, Nigerian government is doing something about solar, they do go to those kind of platforms to inquire about their entrepreneurs. So when you go there, when you join these kind of platforms, you can benefit from some of those kinds of opportunities. What we're sharing here in this webinar today are practical examples that work about how you can survive as a solar business owner. I shared some tips in the chat box. First, find a problem. When you talk to people on the streets, try it today. Just talk to Aboki on the street. Ask him what exactly is your problem with power. You will see it's not just only power to watch TV. He will tell you a specific problem about his business that you have not heard before. Then, as an entrepreneur, you can then work out a solar solution for that particular problem he told you. I hope that makes sense. So those are some of the ways that you can start off. I encourage everyone to take our introductory course to just even understand renewable energy, the market, climate change, why it's important, and then you can go from there. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right,
So,
please, my hand is up.
okay, we'll have a question and answer session if you don't mind.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Please let him
Okay,
answer.
okay, all right, you can ask a question.
All right, though my question is already in the
Yeah, I saw that. I was about
section.
taking that. Yes.
All right, you can answer the question before I ask the next one.
Okay,
It's
so
okay. Now that you've unmuted yourself, you should just ask it at once, okay?
All right, you see, being an entrepreneur, though, is not all that easy because nothing good comes easy. You are going to experience many challenges, of which some have been discussed here. So my other question is, in the rural areas, for those of us that stays in the rural area, how can you cope with the rural area?
okay,
Sorry, what did you say? How can you do what in rural area? Please come again.
Like
said,
those of us that stays in the rural area, you see, some of them in the rural area, they have no knowledge about solar panels and they don't know what it is used for. And some of them don't have, like, they don't need much energy because they don't have something to be powered. So how are you going to cope in that very place as an entrepreneur in the solar industry?
Okay.
Hello?
I'll have Mr. Chukwu Jolie just take answer that question in just a few seconds. I can see Mr. Adaju's hand is up as well.
First one. For people living in rural areas, okay, they don't have much energy need, like you said. So there was the time the federal government launched solar home system project scheme, okay, for 5 million homes. And the targeted people are those living in the rural area. There are appliances gadgets we call solar home kits, or so we call it solar generators. They are very small. These systems can charge your phone. They can power your standing fan, maybe one standing fan, and they come with lighting points, like bulbs, like 6. Some come 4, some 6 pieces. So all you need is just a small solar panel that comes with it. It's just like plug and play. Just bring it the panel outside. It will be charging the battery already inside the box, just like MTN Lumos. You understand? So those ones are affordable. Those in rural area can buy those kits and use it to power their home at night. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Daju, I don't know if you want to respond to that question as well, or.
Yes, thank you, Chineye. Afternoon again, once again, everybody.
Could you mute up your mic? Thank you. Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, Glory. Isaac, well done. I mean, we're proud of you. You know, Rian, we're always supporting our home.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, President.
Right. So let me just, quickly react to one or two. Okay, so Pope initially asked, how can you start a solar business without selling solar panels or inverter or its relatives? Thank you so much, Isaac, for the answer to that question about rural areas. I mean, I was going to say, you don't need people to know, about solar, about how it works. Go and find out what their energy problem is. Let me share an example with you. I gave a solar lantern to my mother in year 2016, November 26. And it was a very simple discussion. Mama, give me your kerosene lantern. You cannot use it again. Take solar lamp. That was it. Today, she's been using that solar. She has never used kerosene lantern since 2016. It's as simple as that. So there are plug and play solutions that you can use. Isaac talked about government is promoting solar home system now. Even mini grid in rural communities. Interestingly, solar is gaining more ground in the rural areas than city centers. I must tell you. So that's that. Then on how you can start a business without selling panels or inverter. Let me use my own case study. So I'm a former banker. I'm an economist. I'm not an engineer like Isaac. So when we have technical matter, we call the likes of Isaac. Say, Isaac, tell us, oh, we don't know this technical matter. But I'm just a businessman. So when I noticed that I had a problem, power problem in my house. And also my barber had a power problem. And I was just thinking, as a consultant, how can I solve this guy's problem? So that was what led me into setting up my own company. And I first powered my house with solar and also did the pilot with my barber shop, my own personal barber. Today, our major business is powering barber shops in Nigeria. But for the first year, so we registered our company in 2015 and started business in 2016. All right. We started business in 2016. But for one whole year, between 2015 and 2016, I did not sell solar panel or inverter or whatever. I identified one guy like Isaac is doing now. And you guys can identify Isaac right now. The guy I identify is called Yusuf Sulaiman, Blue Camel. So I said, okay, you have been in this business. So me, I don't know anything. What will I do? I will go and look for business and hand it over to you. You will give me my commission. Straight matter. So for one whole year, I was using that to learn. He had solar panel, he had the matter he was selling. I didn't even invest capital initially. I was just doing connection. So I brought all my friends from banking. I said, oh, you want to power your... In fact, it was Blue Camel that did my first solar installation. He sent a team all the way from Kaduna to Lagos. And then did it. And then I started connecting him with my friends. So he would do solar for them and give me cuts. I did that for one whole year, understanding the market. And he became my mentor. You know, I mean, he's a young man. I'm even older than him, but he was my mentor for one whole year before I started the business. So Isaac is offering, you know, you guys free information and knowledge. I mean, you should grab it. So you don't need all the money in the world to start. And like Glory said, if you join a network, an association like Rian, there are many opportunities that come that we share amongst our members. We support ourselves. You know, so when I saw this, when Glory shared this, it was almost 6 minutes to the event. I also shared it among the platform I belong, and some of them are already here. So we support ourselves. We just rally around ourselves. If I need a product now, I'll put it in the group. If Isaac has it, I will DM Isaac. Isaac, okay, you have that panel. Can I, you know? But there's huge opportunity in this space, and many of us here, we just need to understand that we need to take the risk. We need to be entrepreneurial like Isaac. I like the likes of Isaac. Honestly, you know, people who are passionate, who are pushing despite all there are problems in the sector. But you cannot say because there's problem, you will not make money. All right. So that would be my encouragement to every one of us here. Nigeria is one of the biggest markets for solar. Let me say in Africa. But if you look at it, it's in the whole world because Nigeria has the highest number of people who are not connected to national grid, who does not have energy access. So you are in for a revolution, every one of us. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Glory. And Chinenye also, thanks.
You're welcome.
Our
You're welcome, my
president. Energy lawyer.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Honestly, for every one of us, I just wish you know who just spoke to us. That's the president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, for free. People can pay to actually get to hear these tips that he just put out there. So if you're on this webinar, I'm sure you should count yourself really lucky. I personally myself, I'm learning a lot. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been drawing my legs back, but I think I'm really, really motivated to step out there. The market is huge, really huge. You know, when the last forecast we had, I could see, you know, lines at the filling station. I was just telling myself, Chinenye, this is business. Do you understand? So I think there's a lot to do. I think it takes a lot of determination, boldness to step out. So we have this webinar is meant to be for an hour. So we just have a few minutes to go. So I'll just take it back to Mr. Chukudulu, just in final words, right? So what do you think, what will be your final words for anybody out there? Okay, before we take final words, I'm very sorry about that. Let's take questions. I can see Mr. Obiора's hand raised up. Obiora, please.
Please, can I say something quickly before you go on?
Okay, please.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
please, quickly. I just wanted to react to what Dr. Shegun said. Guys, that is very important. See, many of our guys have read it. That's also what they did. All they did is find the business and find a technical person to work with. Give yourself 6 months to 1 year, and you will, that's like a learning ground for you. You're kind of like job shadowing and or doing an internship. So in that process, you just learn what works, learn the tips, and you can go from there. That's how you can start without money. All you need to do, find a technical person and bring the business for them. When you do the job, you share the profits. That's one quick way to start. So it's like a partnership. What most of our guys have done at 30 is to work with the people that they came to that training together. Maybe there are 10 in a class. So some of them would work with one another. And if we have 1 minute or more later, and I'll ask Sunday Alome to talk. I can see him here. He's one of our oldest students. He's actually a soldier, but he has been doing well now in his solar business. So I'd like to hear from you later Sunday. So don't go, please. So I would like you guys to hear from a real ready person that came without being an engineer, right? And now he's doing solar business in Niger State. So please, Chine, kindly remind me, let's have just one word from Mr. Sunday to talk to everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. It was Obiora, right? Are you still on the call? Please, you can ask your question now. Okay.
I think we lost him.
Okay, I think he's here now. Can you unmute and ask your question, Obiora? Okay, I don't think he's responding. All right.
He has unmuted.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I just joined in just now. I don't know what has been discussed previously.
Okay, but you raised your hand. I thought we were going to ask a question.
I wasn't hearing the audio before. Just now that I started hearing you.
Yeah. So the video is going to be shared, right, at the end of the webinar, so that you can settle down and listen to everything that's been said from beginning to the end, and then you can ask your questions via email. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So let's hear from Mr. I'm trying to get his name again. Glory.
Sunday Alome. Mr. Sunday
yes,
Alome.
Mr.
Like
Sunday
I said,
Alome, please.
Students.
It's been nice to hear from you,
I'd like
sir.
you to just share with everyone what you've been up to. I know you've been, so he has been out there in the market. You know, I keep talking about people that are out there in the market who are facing the real challenges. So I mean, you can just drop 1 or 2 words about the industry, what you have seen personally as an entrepreneur in the industry, Mr. Sunday, and what made you decide to go into it as someone who is a military person. So you have the floor now, Mr. Sunday Ada Alome. You're on mute. Mr. Sunday, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I want to encourage everybody that generally doing business in Nigeria is not even easy. The policies and other things on its own is not easy. And in Niger State, taxes upon taxes, different stages of taxes continue to come. But solar business is a very wonderful business. When I started, I was with the army, not as a soldier directly, but I was with them for over 30-something years. And I just decided to leave them and just establish my business. I registered my company, Allotech Solar World, in 2017. I came to Reti and I got at least an introduction and the basis, and I just jumped into the market. Honestly, the first 1 year, 2 years was very, very difficult for me. But I begin to say, okay, I think the best thing for me to do is to go for good products, because most of your clients will always run away from good products because of the money. However, you give them bad products, they continue to give you sleepless nights. So I discipline myself and say, okay, it is these good products I'll continue to sell. Mostly Canadian solar panels and so on and so forth. And honestly, today, even the state government contact me for solar products. They called me from Mokwa, they called me from Bida. Once they want to carry out very serious solar installation, they call me. And I want to tell you that life is very good with solar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that testimony.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you
and
very
guys,
much.
Please feel free to connect with Mr. Sunday as well. Just to ask questions, so just to have friends and people who are working in the sector. Sorry, Chine, somebody sent me a question privately. His name is Emmanuel Godwin. So I'd like you to unmute yourself if you're still here, Emmanuel Godwin, and ask the question. I think Mr. Isaac can answer you more. He's wanted to know how to go into the business, how much money is required, and then he talked about having a laundry service business, what kind of solar options are available for him. So, Emmanuel Godwin, please unmute yourself and just ask specifically what you want to know.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, I run a laundry service, so I've been getting difficulty to get the right solar system because most of the times when I get my clients after washing, maybe manually ironing it and then meeting up with the deadline, sometimes it's very, very difficult and it affects my business because one thing about me is I'll keep to time. I don't want to keep jobs piling up because I always want to, deliver values to my customers as at when it's due. So, what kind of solution that is available that is not going to be like intense, like very much in terms of costs? Secondly, is basically I want to go into this business. Maybe I want to, do some diversification to solar system business. What is the minimum, the barest minimum kind of money I can, invest in this to keep going? All right, that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you for
All right,
answering.
thank you for that question. Mr. Isaac, could you please respond to his question?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manuel. Your first question, having challenge with laundry business. The only thing there is knowing your energy consumption need. Every machine you have there has the rated power they consume. Okay, so all you need is to get a very good solar technician that will come and do energy audit, know what the right energy need you need, your energy need. Then from there, they will now design a system that will power there. Okay. In terms of cost, one thing I want to tell you about solar is everybody knows that. That's why you have not seen many people going into solar or using solar system, even when they will have a mansion with 20 kVA or 50 kVA listed at home, is that solar is capital intensive. Okay. Solar, everything about solar is expensive. Not even when you want to talk about going for high quality. So first thing is get a solar technician that will come and check. If you want us to come and do it, we can come and do it for you. Check your energy need. Then recommend the right inverter that will be used, a number of batteries that you can use, a number of solar panels. Then we'll give you the cost. Okay. Solar is capital intensive, but the return of investment is high. With time, you will start enjoying the dividend of your investment. But at that initial stage, it will be expensive. Okay, that is one thing about solar. Once the right products are used for that work, you enjoy it many years. Okay. Then secondly, if we are here when I started, from my own side, I didn't start the solar business with money. I started with just Techno M3 and then internet system. From marketing it, I started making money. Just like our president said, first full year, he was bringing businesses to Suleiman, the owner of a Blue Camel. I know the company, they also buy from Alaba there. I used to see where they buy product there, but now they do everything in Kaduna. So you can start from small, identifying those selling, bringing people, tell your friends, your colleagues, your church, oh, this generator, we need to save costs. put solar. Oh, Isaac can do this. By the time we finish the business, you will get your small commission and you start saving. Before you know it, you open an office, get an office, physical place where people will be meeting you. Before you know it, you will start getting samples. Sample of solar panels, sample of battery, sample of floodlight, all in one street light, and other things. People will come. If you are honest, people will leave money in your hand and you can place order. And you will get the product delivered that same day and you will install. Business has started. That is it. It is very simple. There is no specific amount I will tell you. People come into the business with 10 million, 50 million, 5 million, 1 million. People come with nothing and still make it. You can come with 50 million and within 2 years, you may not make anything again because you don't understand it. The only thing I will tell you in every business, just to also have to run this office, before you go into any business, be it solar, be it, make sure you have passion. This is very, very important. Have passion and ensure that you have those entrepreneurial spirits, skills. There are a lot. Business is dynamic. If you go into solar, if you don't know what you are doing, you won't know when the business is shifting to another area and you'll be left behind. So you must be prayerful, you must be diligent, and finally remember that it is not uphill that runneth fast. It is just time and opportunity. God shows mercy to who he wishes to show mercy. That is how we survive in this business.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I mean, there's no better way to round it up, yes, but we have one more question from someone. He said, please, can solar energy take care of any amount of energy demand? Example, a medium scale palm oil processing plant. Okay, so just a few words from that as well, Mr. Chukwudele, what do you think?
Yeah, there's no energy need one can have that solar cannot solve it.
Power.
We have we have 100 kVA inverters. There are projects done that run in megawatts in Nigeria. Like our president said, there are so many mini grids that can power a whole community, not to talk of your home. Okay, so whatever your energy need is, there is a solution that can cater for it. It's just money. The higher your energy need, the higher the cost to set it up. That is the truth. Right. Some people will come and ask you, can you need solar power AC? We have inverter AC. Solar can power, most of the appliances being manufactured now are energy saving. They are inverter friendly. So there's nothing you need now at home to power your duplex, to power a company. Hotels are being powered with solar, not to talk of just home. All your energy needs can be powered with solar. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And the interesting thing is, despite the fact that it's expensive, but like Mr. Chukwudele said, we have guarantees of all these things for, like, of course, apart from batteries, 25 years. Over time, you reap the dividend of it. And just a case in hand, my parents, so like some 5 years ago, installed a solar panel, and for some reason, they've been complaining it's not working. And we, just recently they got a skilled engineer. Apparently, the what was installed was less than the capacity that they needed, like what Glory said, and they've been complaining. But now, in the past few months, since they rectified it with a very skilled person, I mean, they've been enjoying it. So I think the problem is not really the system, but it's about getting the right persons who are skilled to do this. So we're rounding up right now. We're past the time already. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwudele. It's been immense. I've learned a lot as well. Glory, I'll just give a few seconds to just round up before we go. And yes, I can see that link. Please, we have a very, very interesting, very helpful book you can get. It's titled How to Make Money from Solar, and very affordable, but written by Glory as well. So please take out time to read it and follow the link on the chat box here to get a copy of the book. Thank you. Glory, your final words, please.
Okay, nothing more, just to say, please take what you have learned from here today to heart. Find groups to join. There are lots of Facebook groups, solar inverter groups, where people learn from one another, where people also find about new products in town. And honestly, that's really how you can thrive in the industry, by learning from others. And I like to give the opportunity quickly for one more person to ask the question. one more person to ask a quick question. I see one lady who have been saying something here. I think her name is Funke something. So if you want to speak up now, please, you have the opportunity. And I also see a quick chat from our Razak services. Razak is also one of our entrepreneurs, and he took our online courses. That's how we met him. He was a diesel professional before. He works with oil companies, big firms, expatriates to power their generators, repair and sale. But he also saw the opportunity in solar because he saw how he could easily recommend solar to his customers. So that's what I'm talking about. What opportunity can you see in the sector you're already working to integrate solar? So that's what he did. And I'm also very proud of him today. He was one of the distributors for a Chinese company that Reti linked to our alumni members. So that's one of the benefits of coming with Reti. We find opportunities for our alumni members. I know he benefited from that and even sold some of their products. Yes. So since nobody wants to ask a question, Razak, do you want to say something quickly? We're rounding up. So he said most of his clients on diesel now believe solar is working. So that's a very good testimonial. Thank you very much for that. And I'll hand it over to you now. Chinere.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. And I know we've dwelt a lot on the technical aspect of this, but then there's a non-technical aspect of it as well. Like we talked about just in case you are in the house and you're not a technical person like myself, you can do the technical part. I'm thinking about that, but then you can also do, like for me, I provide legal services to renewable energy companies, of course, because a lot of when you begin to buy and sell, there's a contractual aspect of it. You need to take care of that. So we get to do a lot of that. And then we also have the financing aspect of it. People who need financing, you can actually provide financing for people who actually need money to start up business, and then you get profit from it. So then there are a lot of it around. Then if you can decide to learn the skill and just do only solar design, you know how to do audits and how to advise people on energy efficiency, how to use more energy efficient product. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do, but follow our link on Reti and then you can find out more about that. So thank you, everyone. It's really a pleasure to have you. I think Mr. Chukudulu's contact and Glory's contacts on the link. I think I'll just post mine quickly. Well, yeah. So this is that's my LinkedIn platform, or rather profile. So you can just check that up and we can connect and talk more after this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We're really, really grateful to have you. Thank you, Mr. Chukudulu. It's been a very insightful session welcome. With you. And do have yourself a very lovely weekend. All right.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Isaac, as well. Thank you, Chinere, for great moderation.
You're welcome, Glory.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.